Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of this Timber and Stone playthrough. Now we are starting with version 1.6 that just released tonight. I have been waiting for this so anxiously. Alright, so it is Timber and Stone, but it is Timber and Stone made so much. It's just so pretty. That's all I could say. It's just so pretty. Alright, so let's get into it. New game. I'm not going to go with this. I'm not going to save it. I just want to show you this. Alright, this is all pretty much the same old, same old. You can go small, medium, or large. You can name your settlement a minute ago. Then you choose a small, medium, or large map. I generally go with a large map, but for this purpose right here, pick a small. Alright, what it does is it brings up the map, and it's an automatically generated area. And then while on this map, which I'm zooming in and out very slowly, you can click around and you find you a place that you want to place. You want to build. All of these are showing you the numbers that you rolled for that area, and the commonality of whether or not these items are going to be in that area. That's all this is. So when you find something you want, you then hit confirm and it'll load up a map. Alright, we're going to go with cancel. Let's go. I like to go with something by the river. The place that I'm using right now is set up just about like right here. But so here, we'll go and I'll show you. Except mine's flat. I always pick a flat area because it's easier to build on a flat area. Right there, flat. Tells you the trees, they're sparse, water is coastal, blah 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 blah, all this good stuff. So then you would finally, okay, I like this place. I usually tend to get everything above 50 here, and everything except maybe one or so relatively close to 50 or above here if possible. That just means that, you know, you're going to have more boar randomly on the map, more sheep on it, and they come and go. But here you go, you would confirm. Now we'll be up here in just a second. It takes a few minutes because you can hear the stutter. And there we go. Oh my God, it is so beautiful now. Anybody that's played Timber and Stone is now looking at this saying, oh my God. Robert and the guys did an awesome job on these new graphics. Oh wow. And all of this stuff is not just blocks anymore. There's angles and whatnot. It's not what we had before. But anyhow, and right here, I'll show you a little bit, probably about a 10-second clip of what it used to look like, and you can compare the two. I'll put them side by side. So as you can see, you know, this is the Timber and Stone that's all pretty and phew, it's just gorgeous. And then you've got the other, which is the blurry little, you know, what it used to be. They have done an awesome job. So you just go to settle here, and then you would pick somewhere, and when you pick somewhere, anywhere you want, this is a really dinky small map. You would then hit start game, and then your guys appear. And we're going to continue from that back in our other game. So let's go. Actually, I have to load. There's one thing that I'd like the devs to add is a back to main menu option here. There's not one. You can exit the game, which completely closes the game, but that's it. You can't go back to the main menu to load a game or to whatever else, which that might be what that space right there is for. They might be working on it. They just haven't put it in there. I don't know, but it would be great if one of them happens to see this video if they did that. All right, I will be back shortly. All right, and we are back, and as you can see, we are back to the load game screen. Be careful, because anything you click in here, it loads. It doesn't like click it and then bring it up. You click it, it loads it. All right, so we're going to go into Newville, which is one on a large map that I created just a little bit ago. And we're going to let it load in. It takes a couple seconds to load in because it's loading in each level. But man, oh man, oh man. Now this only happens the first time it loads, so relax. It's not a big deal. It's loading a lot of graphical tiles in. Alright, so let's get down here. Alright, we've got our starting crew, which is what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys. Now, let me first cut this music down. Options. Music. It's a little bit loud. That's a little better. I want to leave it up so you can hear it. That way it's not just me talking. But, you know, I like to be louder than the music at least. Although I typically am, because my microphone volume is pretty high. Alright, so we have 8 guys. Now there's multiple ways to get a hold of your guys. You can hit the left and right brackets to go back and forth through them like so. Or you can click on somebody and it brings up their little character pane down here. As you can see, if you've seen this game, everything is different because they completely redid the UI. And it's beautiful. It's wonderful. Wonderful. I can't say beautiful enough. It's just amazing how much better this game looks. So let's go into, well, here, we'll just start with this guy, Safina. All right, first thing you want to do is go into their job window, but we'll show you all the windows for first hand. There's their first, that's the character window. Now you can also click them up here. This is the character window, or you can hit F1, 2, 3, 4, F1, F2, F3, and F4. This is the character window, shows you their level, their current job, their status, health, fatigue, morale, hunger, how much experience they are towards the next level, and then any traits that they've got. Like this person's got bad vision, they're an overeater, meaning they're going to eat a lot of food, and they're cowardly, they're going to run away. So they wouldn't make a good warrior, but they'll make an okay worker. Second is the job that they have. All right, now these are all skills that they randomly generate when they start. And this one started with level 3 carpenter. Well, we're going to need a carpenter off the bat, and so I'm going to leave this person as a carpenter. Now, a lot of people that play this game like to maximize their time, per se. So they will micromanage each one of their guys. Like they'll have one guy that does all of the carpentry, all of the masonry. They'll have like 2 guys cutting trees, 2 guys mining, and then 1 or 2 guys out foraging, and then they'll have one guy that they just keep switching around doing multiple things. I don't do that. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't do that. That is the most efficient way to play the game, I'm sure, but I don't care. I don't care. I like to have a guy do a job, and then I'll switch him if I need something for a few minutes, and then I'll put him right back to his job. That type of deal. Once we get more people, which you do, after a while we'll get more people. It'll get a lot easier because you'll have somebody to cover every job. But while you don't have somebody to cover a job, yeah, you will swap somebody. Just not, I don't do it as dramatically as a lot of people's Let's Plays that you'll see. Anyhow, tab number 2, the job window, all you do is click here. Anything you click here, he becomes that. He'll go put his tool up, he'll pick up the new tool if he needs one, and he'll start doing that job. And these are all of the available jobs right now. And then the third window, which we will go over these jobs as we assign them. The third window is their equipment and inventory window, if I can get it out. First thing you need to check out here after you assign jobs is their encumbrance level. You can set the encumbrance level all the way up to the point to where they're crawling. So this guy, if he was a wood chopper, he would go out, he would get 16 logs of wood before he came back to dump them off, unless he got hungry or whatever between now and then or needed to sleep. So he would go get 16 logs. Now you don't want that. You want it about 7 or 8. That way he'll go and he'll cut and get 7 or 8 logs, bring them back, go and he'll cut, get 7 or 8 logs, and he's walking pretty much at normal pace. He's at about half of his encumbrance limit. It's the same for all other things. The foragers. You want to set your foragers real low at first, 3 or 4. That way they're going out, they're grabbing a few berries, a few whatever, and then they come back. They don't go out and keep scouring the lands until they've got 15 items, and then come back, and during all this time your guy's possibly having no food. All right, finally the fourth window. Now this is a very important window that a lot of people tend to overlook when they start playing this game. This window sets the AI behavior and the notification behavior for each individual person. And you have to set this for each individual person. Now, let's go over the options real quick. The first one right here is wait in the hall while idle. What that means is that if he has nothing to do, no task, no job, no nothing, or he's not crafting anything, basically has nothing in his little AI queue to go do something, he will go to the hall and he'll stay there. And we will designate our hall right here beside the wagon. And that's where they'll go. They'll go and they'll stand by the wagon. This keeps them from wandering off, basically. Keeps them from going out somewhere that you tell them to go forage something, and then they decide they don't want to do it anymore, or they've gotten enough, or they don't need to, and then stopping wherever they're at and just standing there. They'll always come back here and stand in this area when necessary. Notifications. These are things that come up down here in the middle, or in the bottom left. You see game paused, game saved. Do you want to see when a tool breaks? Yes, I do. Do I want to see when a resource is collected? No, I don't. Do I want to see when a resource is crafted? Yes, I do. And you would set this for each individual that has a job that those relate to. So if you've got somebody that's using any kind of tool, you would want to, probably, at least I do, set the tool breakage button. If I've got somebody that's crafting, which is my stonemasons, my carpenter, anybody that's making something, my blacksmith, I want to see the resources crafted because these guys have a chance to fail. Everything that they're doing, everything that they're making is dependent upon their skill level to make that item. All right, and then you've got the sleep window. Sleep autonomously based on fatigue. I leave that for the first couple days, but I do eventually go to a scheduled sleep. And what you need is you need so many hours. I think it's midnight, late night, or night, midnight. I think it's 4. Any 4 of them. I can't remember. I'm sorry. I will, I'll put a little bubble up here that you'll see. It'll be right there in the corner. And it'll say you need 4, 5, or 6 of these, however many of these periods of time checked to take care of all their sleep needs. I like all my guys to sleep at the same time except for my defenders. And then I like to alternate them. So I'll have like a couple soldiers, and I'll have one of them sleeping and one of them awake at all times. All of my workers and all that other stuff, I'll work them all during the daylight hours, and then they'll sleep at night because you can't see anything at night to work anyway. So, because it gets really dark. That's what I do. But for the first couple of days, I leave it on sleep autonomously just so that we can get a little start going. And that is this whole window. That controls all of that. Now, we're going to go over the rest of the UI in this episode, so there's not going to be a whole lot of work. So if you know how the game is played, you can skip to the second video. That's when we're going to actually, it'll be the end of this video or somewhere, but we're going to start playing probably for about 5 or 10 minutes, because it's going to take me about 10 more minutes to explain everything if I quit rambling. But there's a lot going on in this game, and I just want you to know ahead of time so that when I then go to start playing, you're not sitting there thinking, well, how did he do that? Why did he do that? Etc. So you've got your design window. This allows you to dig in mine. You click it, and then you can dig an area, which we will do here in a little bit when we set up our people. And then you've got one for construction, which allows you to build. Lets you build terrain, walls, flooring, roofing, utility. You just hit terrain, and then you would select your terrain type, grass, and it'll even show you what it's going to look like. You can set it as a slope, what it'll look like as a slope, what it's going to look like as stairs, etc. What's applicable for it. And then you start building. The next is walls, which do walls. Flooring, which is flooring. Roofing, which is roofing. Roofing is actually refined a lot now because you can do a ceramic roof, and you can actually do slanted roofs anymore. You used to always have to do square, and it would just kind of look like square blocks, kind of like the houses, the roofs look in Stonehearth if you've played Stonehearth. Now you can actually do flat slanted roofs so that they actually look like roofs, and it's, wow, they're pretty. All right, and then you've got utility, which is fences and scaffolding. Fences are used for livestock to hold it in, because you do have a herder that will go out and collect livestock and bring them back. And then he'll process the livestock over time, and then you'll get some of the resources free from each animal that he has, and you don't have to slaughter them. A lot of people think that you have to kill the animal, but you don't. You kill the animal in the wild, and you get resources. Or if you bring them back with a herder, the herder keeps them in a fence, and he'll work them slowly. And it takes him a couple days, but every few days he'll get a little bit of resources from them. So like chickens, high priority. You want to get 5 or 6 chickens in there saved up, and then he can just work on those chickens over a period of a few days, and you'll constantly have a slow but a steady income of feathers from the chickens instead of having to go out and slaughter them, because you will later on, late game, end up with the issue of where are all the chickens. I don't have enough chickens. The queue. This is a queue that shows you what's going on right now, what's currently being done, what's currently being built, what's currently being whatever. The only things that I've noticed it doesn't show is it doesn't show manual labor tasks, things like cutting down trees, picking bushes. If you designate it to be done, it might show it up there, but I don't think that it does. I think that the only thing it shows is jobs, like making a stone hammer, making a stone pickaxe, building a wall, things like that. It shows jobs, but it doesn't show medial tasks. All right, then you've got resources. Now, this is an important factor that you need to know about if you ever plan to play this game. This is everything you have, everything, and it's also everything that you can currently make. Right now we have 6 carrot seeds, 6 potato seeds, and 5 wheat seeds, and we can click on that. Now, the first thing that we want to do is go down to hand tools. These are raw materials. Let's just go through it. This is all your food, your dirt, and all this other good stuff. So you click on food, and then over here it shows you we've got 0.25 mass of food. I want to track it. That then makes it appear over here, so I will always know how much food I have. You can click it to untrack it again if you want to, but I always want to know how much food I have. I always want to know how much raw stone I have, because stone and raw wood, I want to know how much of that I have, because those are materials that are used constantly by you. As you come down, you can look around. There's some other things, like some people follow wheat. And I will once I start messing with animals, but right now it's very, very unimportant. It's not very important, excuse me. Talk like a moron. Processed materials are things that you've turned those other materials into. Like you have to build a cutting thing to turn raw wood into timber. Then you can use timber to build with. Hand tools. Things like you want to track are things like the stone hammers. I want to track them. The stone picks, I want to track them. Stone axes, I want to track them. Stone hoes, I want to track them. These are things that I definitely want to track off the beginning. Now, you would normally want to track knives because you need them for your herder or for your gatherer dudes, but unfortunately, they required a standard ingot. One wood. Over here, it also shows you what it requires to build it. You need a level 3 blacksmith. You need raw wood and a standard ingot. I can't make a knife because I don't have any standard ingots. So we just will hold off on that, and I'll start tracking that once we get our miners down to do some ingots. All right, and then we got to go through our people. So let's go through our people, which we were doing, but then stopped. We need a carpenter. This guy's level 3, so we're going to leave Selfine as a carpenter. We've got a carpenter, and then we've got a wood chopper. We need a wood chopper. We need an infantry. But this guy we might do some menial labor tasks around, like we might make him build or something like that, because we're probably not going to get attacked for the first handful of days. But we will keep him on standby. Remember that Zacchaeus is our infantry guy. We've got a tailor. At the beginning, we don't really need a tailor, so we can look and see what other types of jobs he would be good at. We will just remember him. Let's keep going through the list. All right, we've got a miner. That we need. We've got a forager. That we need. We don't need a herder at the beginning. So that's 2 people that we've got. Let's see the tailor. The tailor. Was he any good at farming? No. Because we do need a farmer. This guy's level 1 farmer. All right, there's a stonemason. And then the last person's a carpenter. So we've got this herder and our tailor that we can make into other things. Well, we need a farmer. That's 1. And then we've got one more job that we can make somebody. And we need... What do we need? We can either have another wood chopper, another miner, or double foragers. Oh, let's see. I think, to be honest with you, I don't know if we have a fishing pole. If we had a fishing pole, we could make him a fisherman. He'd go right over here and he'd fish for us and bring us back food. So let's go ahead and let him do that. This guy will be our fisherman for right now, and then I'll look and see if we have any fishing poles. Fishing poles, that would be under tools, right? A fishing rod, what does it require? 2 raw wood and 2 twine. All right, so let's go back up and see if we have any twine. Flax fiber. No, that's raw. This would be processed. Twine would be processed. Twine, okay, we do have 2. And I don't see us needing it. What do we need? Tailor and animal fur. Oh, also, some recipes have multiple ways to make them. You can go to animal fur. You can make it out of flax fiber if you're growing flax. Or you can make it out of spider web if you've killed some spiders and you've got spider silk, which it shows that I have 4. And I have none, and I have none. So I've got 4 spider silk. So I could go to, I'd leave that guy as a tailor, and I could make 2 spider silk into ropes and then make some, but I've already got 2 twine. So we're going to go to tools again, and we're going to make him a fishing rod. And how you would do that is you would say currently in queue is 0. I can hit 1 and it will make 1 now. Or I can go to maintain in storage 1 and he'll make 1, and then when that fisherman comes and takes it, he'll then make another one. This means that he will always keep 1 in storage. Even after they take them, they're not in storage anymore. So they'll keep making them until that many is sitting in storage. That's a new feature that they didn't used to have that is just fantastic. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to hit my microphone. Most games have this ability now, and I'm really glad that they've incorporated it into this one. At least the last time I played, they didn't have it, or I didn't know how to use it if they did. So we're going to track fishing rods also because we're going to have a fisherman temporarily. We're going to let the guy make a fishing pole. Fishing rod requires a level 3 carpenter. He's only level 2. So it's going to be a short bit before he can make that fishing rod. So what we need to do is go to our fisherman. And we will leave him as a tailor temporarily. Now you'll see why. And we're going to go to resources. and we're going to go back up to, where's it at? Twine. And we're going to go to spider webs, and we're going to make, how many did we have? 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, wait. Currently in queue, 6, 4. All right, we're going to make 4. All right. Now that'll be up here in the queue, as you can see, fishing rod and twine. Anything that it can make, it will make. If it can't make this, it'll skip to the next, that type of deal. So they're now going to go do their jobs. If I hit space, I've changed my deal, but I haven't told them what they can do. My bad. So let's go into, I think it's F4. All right, this is my forager. I want him to wait in the hall while idle. I want him to gather berries. I want him to harvest white wheat. I want him to hunt boar and sheep. Now, he doesn't have a knife. He can't do that yet. And he's always going to keep popping the little thing over his head. I need a knife to hunt animals. I want him to report when tool breakage. And that's it. That's all that he can do. So we'll hit the bracket. We'll go to the next guy. This is Oster, who looking at, I can't tell what he is. What's his job? This is my miner. Okay. So I want him to wait in the tool, wait in the hall while idle, show when tool breakage, and I'll leave him on autonomous sleep. All right, let's go to the next guy. This is my forager. I want, this is my farmer, wait in the hall, show tool breakage, research crafted, or resources crafted. This is my, I don't know. I don't memorize their, it's my stonemason. You got to memorize their outfits because they'll always wear the same outfit for depending on the job. Wait in hall while idle. Tool breakage, resource crafted. Now, I don't know what this means, train under level 3. This is something that I don't know what it is. This was not in the game, or at least I don't remember it. I'm assuming that it will let them train while working on stuff up until level 3. So I'm going to check it just for giggles, because I don't know what it does. Can't see it really hurting anything. Now, this, I think, is my carpenter. Yeah, it is. And let's go to his options. I want him to train also, wait and haul while, or tool breakage, resources. All right, and this is my lumberjack, wait and haul, independently chop nearest trees. What that tells him to do is just go chop a tree down, chop the closest tree down. This way you don't have to, you can uncheck that and he won't cut trees down. If you check that, he'll just start cutting trees down, anything close to him. Tool breakage, resources crafted. All right, and this is my infantry guy. I want him to wait in the hall while idle. I don't want to really do anything with these, so I'm just going to leave him alone. All right, and who is this? This is my tailor. Wait while idle, train under level 3, show tool breakage, resources crafted. This is going to be my fisherman again. We'll go ahead and put that on him, even though he's not going to create anything. Sure. Oops. F4. Resources collected. No. But resources, nah, he's not going to craft anything. All right, so that's everybody set up. Now when I hit the space bar, they should all slowly get going. There they go. There goes the forager. There goes my wood chopper. He's got to go get an axe. All these other guys are just chilling. He needs a workbench to craft fishing rod. We're going to get that made. This is my, what are you? My miner. Okay, I need to tell him something to mine. My tailor, my farmer, and the guys that need to be working are working. All right, so first things first, there's a big thing here that we can cut out, but there's also some over here. So we're going to send our miner right over here. There's some coal that looks like right there. Can't tell what it is, and there's some kind of an ore there. All right, so we're going to go to design, mine and dig, and now we're going to actually start playing because we got about 7 or 8 minutes left. All right, so first things first, you grab a box, you click one time. Now you've got this box that you can drag around. So we're going to go to here, actually one up to there, and we're going to go to there. And if you press the up and down arrow keys, notice how it raises the Z-axis. So that will select everything within that Z-axis. All right, and then you can also, like this, where I've selected an area that I don't really want, and then you can hold Shift and Alt, and it will make it a yellow box, which removes it from the selection. So let's go to there, and we're going to go down to here, and we're going to select all that. And actually what I should have done was went to there, and then went up one time, and then it'll select all of it. And then let's come over here, and we're going to select all that, and we're going to select this, and we're going to select this, and then we're going to select all of this, We're going to go up one and select all of that. There we go. And that'll give him plenty to go work on. So now watch, if we come back over here and look, now my miner will go and he'll go grab him a thingy. There he goes. He's going to grab him a pickaxe and he's going to take off over here into this direction and he's going to start mining. So now we got somebody chopping wood. We got somebody gathering food. All right, that's one thing that we needed to check on. Oops, wrong button. Right click, cancel design. This guy, hit F4. Actually, it's F3. F3, right? Yep, F3. And I want to set this encumbrance limit down. I want to set it to about 5. There we go. Now what he'll do is he'll go get 5 berries or whatever, 5 food, and bring it back. This guy, he's at 12. I want to set him at about 8. Now he'll go get about 8. He'll mine about 8 blocks, then he'll carry the stone back. All right, my tree logger. We need to set him at about 8 if he's not. So F3, he's at 3 of 12. So we need to go to 8. And then we can bracket through them all. This is my farmer. We'll set him at 8. 12, what is this? Excuse me. This is my mason guy. Okay, and that's all that matters for right now. So let's let him go. That's another thing I need to change. Escape. I need to set tab to the main menu and then escape to back out, which you can do in the options. The options for the controls are really, really well done. So like you can scroll down here. Let's find escape. There they are. Open main menu is escape. Back, cancel, and close is tab. I want to reverse those. So hit escape and then open main menu. I'll set that to tab and confirm because I'll never hit tab. Save changes. Resume game. Now when I hit escape, it closes windows, which is what I want. Like I set R to rotate and stuff like that, and space to pause the game. You can change all of your keybinds to anything that you want in there. All right, but they're actually going to work now. Now, what they're doing is they're doing their basic jobs, what I've told. Now, you know I've got a couple guys just standing here. So what we need to do is go into design, go into farms, and then we're going to set a wheat farm. And I do small farms, about 4 by 6. So we'll go with about that. And then that'll set a wheat farm there. Now we're going to go to a carrot farm. We're going to set it 4 by 6. And then we're going to go do a potato farm. It'll set it 4 by 6. Now they're not going to have enough. Uh-oh, why didn't that go? 4 by 6. Why is it not going down? Here, we'll try it over here. Could be, yep, could be the terrain. Maybe, oh, the bush is in the middle of the way. Okay. You can go around the bush, but you can't go over a bush, apparently. I'd have to cut that bush down. That's a berry bush, so I'm not going to cut it down right now. Let's hit escape. Oh, yeah, and escape gets rid of all that. Beautiful. All right, so now if I hit space, he's going to go grab his hoe, and then he's going to start coming and planting all of them. Now, you got to give it a couple seconds for him to kick in. All right, now we need to go to objects, workshops, and then we need a couple things. We need a timbering bench, which we're going to build. We'll build it right there. And then I'll hit escape. We'll go to workshops, and then he needs a workbench. So we're going to make him a workbench. Now, he can't make the workbench, if you look, until he's got 4 timber and 6 stone. And we've got 7 timber up there, but he's going to use 6 of it to make this timbering bench. So we're going to let him go. Now he should go to starting whatever it is that's needed. I think this guy has to do it. The carpenter has to build the timbering bench. The mason has to build the workbench. Each guy does their own thing. So we've got them going, we've got them started, they've all got jobs, and in the next episode we'll start looking at the lay of the land and we'll figure out basically where we're going to build our little fort and how we're going to do it. We're probably going to build a 3-high wall just around all of this with a door, and then we can come in and out that door when we need to exit the actual area, and then eventually we'll move over inland some and start building a castle or, you know, whatnot, building our settlement. It'll be more like an old town type deal. I've never really been one for the big castles and stuff, but you never know. We might end up with one. Who knows? Depending upon people's, you know, attention span and whether or not they like the playthrough. Because this game it's constantly about managing your guys, making sure that they're working, planning ahead. We're going to start getting attacked by goblins, necromancers, all different kinds of things, wolves and spiders. So it's about protecting yourself, expanding, trying to keep your people alive, keeping your people fed, and like we're down to like 33 food. So yeah, there's a lot going on, a lot to do. We really need to get a tailoring thing built for that guy. So let's go to workshops. What is a loom? I need, ooh, good Lord. You need a lot of stuff for a loom. So I'm going to need a lot of stuff. Let's see well, we can make him, let's just make him a forager for right now. That way he's doing something. So we're going to make you a forager. And then we're going to go into your options. We're going to make sure that you're gathering berries, doing all the hunting, harvest some wild wheat if you find some, bring it back to us so that we can hopefully get some seeds. That's one thing about these gardeners. Now I made them 4x6, but you saw that they only had like 6 seeds. Well, what happens there is that while they're low level and while they're low on resources, they have a tendency to get more seeds. As they start to progress and get higher in level, they start to end up leveling out, and then the higher that they get, the more product you get versus seeds. So early on, that makes it real easy for you to get a full field going versus hoping to get that one seed or whatnot. Now, you can get a couple seeds for every one. It's a chance. You can get one seed. You always get one seed, but you have a chance to get more than one. I think it's maybe 2, 3 at most. I don't know. It's been a long time. They've changed a lot. But it used to be you could get one, always got one, and then you had a chance to get 2, so that you could always double your planted area every time you harvested. But all right, that's the basic intro of Timber and Stone. You've seen the very basics of it, just getting into it, how to get started on your first day. We're going to pick it up in the next episode and continue on and see what happens. I mean, really, I've got to say it again. The graphics overhaul, the new the tile set, the way everything looks now, it's just gorgeous. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. If you've played the old game, you're right along with me, I'm sure, right now saying, wow, they really, really put some work into it. So a lot of people got upset because the last couple updates have taken them almost a year to do. But they worked really hard on the core engine of the game to make it to where they could modularize everything, and they could just work on certain things and then add that to the game, work on something else and add that to the game, because originally they were trying to do that, and when they started to try and add to something, they were just adding it into the existing code. Nothing was, easy. They were really working twice as long to do what's going to take them half as long to do now, because of the way that the original engine was written. So they've changed all of it, reworked the whole core, and now they've added in graphics. So it's going to be a lot easier, according to them, to add in all these new changes. So there should not be any more 6 or 8 month waits between updates. The new stuff should be coming, and it should be coming a whole hell of a lot faster. At least that's what we're all hoping, because that's what they've all said. This was worth waiting 6 months for, bottom line. If you've played this game, playing it now, it was worth waiting 6 months for. So good job, guys. If any of the developers have watched this video, great job. Really happy with it so far. And to my viewers, hope you're enjoying this. If you are, please like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next episode. Have a great day.